So what's the time? What's the time today? It's Saturday, 6 o'clock. So I hope everyone is doing great. Whoever is watching, wherever you're watching from, and whichever part of the world you are tuning in from, I hope everyone is having a great time. So we are having a great evening, great day so far in London. It's a lovely sunny day. So I'm really feeling great, especially there are two reasons. First of all, the weather, as I've already talked about. So everything had been so good today, throughout the day. And now there's another reason that added to that. And we have a very special episode tonight of In Harmony with Ershad on Air Television Network. And we have a very special guest joining me all the way from Bangladesh. You might have known about it since you might have seen it a little bit of the video. So without any further ado, I'd like to invite with me. Are you ready for that? Drum roll, drum roll. Okay, we have MEHREEN all the way from Bangladesh. And hi. So, first of all, at last, we made it. So, how are you? First of all, I have to congratulate on the lovely set you have. It's your own studio at home, I understand. So it looks amazing, fabulous. I'm definitely sure people agree with me. And once I start asking them questions. So first of all, before I start, everyone, let me know on the comments, how do you like, first of all, MEHREEN is looking fabulous. That's definitely sure. So you have to agree with me, say something about that. And the studio as well.
Oh, this is my practice ad, Ershad.
Yeah, I love that. And well, that's another studio. And probably, I think you're working on building a studio there, right?
Yes, I want to look as good as your back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
one
there.
Day. Soon, very soon.
Or probably I'll fly over there and sometimes we'll make arrangements and collaborate and make something look.
Yeah. Probably, we could have a time machine and you could just jump into through StreamYard. And,
a module or a capsule. Yeah, I'll be just there. Yeah. Well, it's almost there. I mean, thanks to technology that you are sitting there in Bangladesh and it's sometime over 11 o'clock and I'm here now. It's kind of a time machine is going on, as you can see. It's working.
See?
Yeah. So how have you been?
I'm great, Ershad, and how are you? It's so amazing to be on your show. Thank you so very much.
Oh, same here. I'm privileged.
For putting up with me, for like, thank you.
Yeah, in that case, people were thinking, what are you putting up with? So I have to tell them what really happened. So the whole month of August, we've been trying to arrange this one, organize this one. There are 4 episodes. I think more than that, right? In July, we started. Yeah.
More than that, yeah.
So, but it's not your fault. Many things happen in life. And in terms of that one, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. So I try to, how should I put it? I try to be patient.
I know, you are amazing. You are just too good, yeah.
I'm good.
And thank you so much for bringing me up in front of your audience. I just
definitely
love it.
People already tuning in. I can see a lot of people already there.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. A lot of people are tuning in.
You have to give me the link for my Facebook fans because I got you.
Yeah, the link is already with you. That's the same link. If your Facebook fans, I'll give you the time. In the meantime, people, MEHREEN is here with us all the way from Bangladesh today. And we have Bishojit Bishash, Alamgir Bulbul. Well, that's my father, by the way. And so my dad's watching me. Hello.
Oh, nice.
So Delwar Hussain, Tipu Khan, Saif Hassan from America, and Tanzila Lavonno, our regular viewer from Canada, Twin Shubro, another friend of mine, Krishna Gwyn. What is saying? Let's see. Air Television Network, TV No Doubt of Bangladesh, of Bangla, really? Too, goodness, poet written. Oh no, I don't get this, what they're talking about. Shoykot Chaudhary as well. So people are just tuning in. A lot of people, and definitely your fans are, once you start sharing it, definitely they'll be there.
Thank you
so first of all, probably we were supposed to have a COVID update. Normally we do it, but we don't have him with us tonight. So probably I can have the update from you. What's going on in Dhaka? Tell me.
Oops. Actually,
I haven't been out, Ershad.
The weather seems wonderful. And
I heard it's hot, right? It's a bit warm.
Yeah, hot, yes. But the sky is bluer than before. The trees are greener than before. The birds are chirpier than before. And people are more connected, I would say. Because we were sort of disconnected, we were so technologically, overwhelmed. So we just got connected over the few months.
Would you think it's true for Bangladesh as well?
Yeah.
Because why I'm asking this question, first of all, in Bangladesh, the thing initially, yeah, people were in lockdown, they were trying to maintain the distance and everything, wearing masks and everything. But now I've seen on many videos, masks are here, where you should have your beard. And then I've seen even people picking their nose with mask. I mean, there one video that came out. And sorry, I'm not trying to be nasty about it towards the people. But the thing is, it's just normal life they're going about. And I wish I could show you on camera what the weather is like in London. Is glorious. Trust me, it's sunny, beautiful. So you can see a bit of reflection probably on my face. That's all.
Yeah. And because, my name is Sun's Rays, the Arabic of my...
MEHREEN means rays of sun?
Sun's rays. So you have me on your show. So God Almighty has given you sunny day.
No, really, it looks, first of all, sometimes I get worried about what the internet connection would be, since we are totally at the mercy of the internet connection, technology and everything. But so far, so good. So I would request everyone, whoever is watching, I would request you, if you have any questions, anything that you'd like to ask. Normally we do it, it's more like a musical show. Definitely you'll be singing, we have your music videos, but at the same time, people would like to know a lot of things probably, because
I'm all here.
You're all here. And on top of that, normally it doesn't happen. Most of the time, the shows are like, people are requesting songs, you're singing, you go home. That's all, done and dusted. So during the lockdown, anything significant happen? Any changes that really was significant in your life, or anything at all?
Well, my mom fell very ill, and if it was normal time, then I don't know what would have happened, because we have a lot of commitments going on. We have daily commitments going on. So due to the lockdown thing, I was home and next to my mom, and I was able to be next to my mom. Okay. Otherwise, I would have been in work crying,
blessing in disguise,
telephoning and worrying. But this time I was just with her, or next door to her, or just in her proximity, and taking care, calling up the doctors and all that. I was even at the hospital with her for 12 days. We were all non-COVID patients, and we didn't face any suffering, and we had a great time at the hospital, great time, yeah, because the doctor was fabulous. But what I want to tell you is, like, I've been through that phase. I'm still going through that phase. And my children are doing their online studies, so I'm also enjoying that part of the thing. They're
also gaining sessions as well, probably.
Ershad, it's a big worry for children to, travel every day and then come back. What they're eating at school, or probably they're not eating. So these homey little things are very interesting.
So for people to know, একটা কথা আছে না যে যিনি রাধে চুল বাঁধে যে কথাটা আছে, at the same time, the things you do on stage, people have this persona that they can see that you are singing and you're busy coming on television, doing other projects, traveling around the world. But at the same time, at the home front, everything is just as normal as other people. They do. People who are watching at home, you have to do the same and go about the same daily routine, isn't it?
Very much. My work is my responsibility. My home is also my responsibility. Great. So I have to maintain that. And you are connected. So even when I'm away in the remotest part of the world, I am connected with my daughter or our son through internet, and we're doing our studies, we're doing our maths. I'm always connected. And like, I'm on stage only for 1 hour or 2 hour, max 4 hours. But most of the time, I'm always...
How much do you miss the stage now at the moment? I mean, definitely there are not many live shows. People are trying to keep the distance, so definitely...
See, I have done it for many, many years, Ershad. Yeah. And now it's different, and I'm also enjoying this one. I never thought I could do things from home, and I never thought I could go to London from my home, from Dhaka.
So, and I could go to Bangladesh.
Yeah, Yeah, because I had to meet you, Ershad. I had to spend at least
Yeah.
lakhs and some time and
Definitely.
go over there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and all that. So it's different. It's wonderful, and Ershad, I'm learning so much. All these things had to be done. Was
Yeah.
always done by people. So
We
now
are
I
pampered in Bangladesh as everything is done. There's
so
DIY
much.
is not the concept there.
I have to learn. I just have to learn, Ershad, and
Yeah.
I have learned so much,
Hmm.
unimaginably. Because suppose I have this console in my practice
Yeah.
pad, but I never touched it. Always, somebody of the five would.
Never even for dusting, right? No, that was someone else's job.
So yeah, so it's. I always take the positive from life, Ershad.
Mm.
This time, it's just more than positive, and of course, it's time of a massive shift in everybody's life.
Definitely.
Either
For
financial,
many people, it's just once in a lifetime kind of thing.
of
Even for
course,
me, to be honest, what I
yeah.
experienced.
So it's financial, it's emotional, it's like habitat. People have changed their house,
Mm.
people have changed their locations and mindsets. So it's a topsy-turvy thing. It's a 360-degree
Yeah,
turnaround.
even many
So
habits. Say, for example, now if we go out, even in London, we have to make sure that there's a mask in our pocket or
yeah,
handbags or wherever that is for ladies. I'm talking about.
and
So
do you know how important that what shall I say, that hygiene part is, or that sensitive that part which keeps you safe from the environment, because
yeah,
yes, the environment does have its hazards. So keeping yourself safe, learning to
yeah,
keep yourself safe, and being acknowledged to keep yourself safe, because no one is going to pinpoint your mask from now on. Now, how stupid are you wearing a mask? So this is all good, and if you have to reap the good out of your life anyway, so there you go.
your
Just
fans
gave
are
you.
tuning in slowly, as I can see. There is one person, Ashik Zaman here. He already requested "Tumi acho bole shunte chai,"
Oh, thank you so much,
and
Ashik.
Khairul Alam Babul. I'm very a big fan of MEHREEN ma'am. I have a
Oh,
request.
nice.
You know him? Do you know him?
Well, I just got to know him.
Okay, okay. Yeah, definitely. That's how it happens. I have a
Yeah.
request, a song, please. Sing a song for me and my best buddy. Song Mon
Obilash.
Obhibashi? Obhilashi.
Obilash.
I mean, he had written it Obhibashi. I was thinking Obhibashi. Okay, immigrant Mon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, okay, starting about, if we start talking about your music career, the thing is there had been, as I can see, once you have finished your education, from that to starting your career as it is, like the professional career back in 2000 started with Anari. That was your first album. So
Absolutely.
what did you do in the intermittent period of time, these 5 years, even though you started singing at the age of 4? So definitely the preparation it had been there. But you have been doing something else like in preparation to that, or something else completely different?
Preparation was there, Ershad, but it was not institutional, or it was not well, a setup of preparations, but it was a mind preparation. It was more of like back end, and prayers from
Definitely.
inside. Some wish from inside. It's like I would say it's like flowing from inside a human being's wish,
Yeah.
God Almighty's favorite creation's wish. So that kind of thing worked, yes. And I was busy at my studies, and my mother would not let me do anything else but my studies. Even then, I took permission to do
Start
my
performing.
recording.
Okay.
Do
Oh,
my
you,
recording.
you you went for the recording straight away rather than coming on stage? Did you
Yeah.
perform on stage before that, or no,
No,
straight went into the album?
straight gone to the album, and
Wow.
my first song was Alhamdulillah. People loved it, and it was a hit. And I was summoned on stage. I had no idea before that what to
You
face.
have been dubbed as someone back in those days. That someone brought back pop music. I mean, in a totally different way. We had pop music, I mean, back in the 70s or late 70s, but the thing is that how you have brought it, it's in a different package, more in line with the Western scenario of music, how people were doing it. So in terms of how you looked, how you performed, how you sounded, everything was different. So definitely that was something different, and it always works.
Yeah, and it was a first shot thing. It was a 50-50 chance or 100 chance. So we got through with glorious colors. It was a high risk game because, well, I never wanted to actually.
But would you call it like a high risk game in a sense? Sorry to interrupt you again. The thing is, I feel like did you feel like you have something to lose, or you were like, okay, I have nothing to lose? What was it?
No, I had no feeling at all, Ershad. I just did what I believed in, because the first demo I made was in 1989 or 90, way long back. And then I sat down with the demo for quite a long time until I met the right person. Because at that time there was not many.
For the same song, was it for Anari as well?
Well, it was a you know, Volare, Gypsy Kings Volare, a very popular song. So one fine night,
would you sing a bit of say a few lines? Do you remember that?
It's Volare. So I did it like Mana Shure, oh, Porechire, oh, Lege, Jere Je Agun, Ete Jol, Te Eto Je Shuk. So what I did was I wrote the lyrics. What I did was I wrote the lyrics myself, and I went to Odyssey. They lived nearby, so I went to Peter Mamu and told him, "Look, I want to do something. I didn't know what is a demo. I didn't have any idea what to go about." And then he said, "Okay, we will." I was charged 7,000 taka or something, and I somehow got together with ED and stuff. So we got this recorded. Yeah, and I still remember Liton Bhai, Charlton Da, and Peter Mamu got this recorded. And before that, I must remember my friend Ria, who is instrumental to all this good stuff. So got the demo, and then I got my friends to listen to it. And then finally, Tipu Bhai got through somehow. And then I waited for that person to come to me. And back then, there was not many female singers.
Yeah.
Plus, my voice was, I don't know.
Your voice is always different, and still it's quite different.
Yeah. So I was not approached by many, but I was also approached by a few. But I decided... I don't know.
Just go your own way, and
I just waited.
Like carve the path for yourself. Yeah, create your own niche. Yeah, that definitely worked. Because so that first album, then you decided after these preparation rounds that 1989. Did you say? So that was again nearly 11 years, isn't it?
Yeah. I wait a lot. I have this patience game I'm playing with my life. I think I love it.
No, I mean, I think that fruit is sweeter.
I believe that, Ershad. Nothing is fast.
Nothing is fast. I mean, it doesn't happen in life, but nowadays we are more into that kind of thing. I'll come into that one because you have been judged on a lot of reality shows as well, competitions and other things. So you have seen that people have the tendency, okay, I'll win that one and my life is set. After that, I'm a star. And this is one of the mindset people have. But now listening to you, they can tell that you started singing at the age of 4. Then you kept going on. Your study was there. You did your master's. And at the same time, at 89, because at the time you were a student, at the same time, as you're saying that you used that money from EV, that was a very interesting thing that brought many memories for me as well, because I had a lot of interest in that. We used to save up this money. So you made a very good use of that. But still, after that, you waited for another 11 years before you launched your first album, Anari. So... And Anari, I think many people know about that song. And since we are talking about this one now, how about we listen to that? But it's not the recorded version of it. You had done a lovely acoustic version of it, or it's more like a live performance with a band. And I think,
Okay.
how about we have a listen to that one, that version of that? Just watch that
Right.
video. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's see. So let's have a listen to Anari. We have the video of Anari. So for all the audience, whoever is watching from all around the world, I can see already from the name where they're tuning in from. I know that many of them, they tune in regularly. So let's have a look at Anari. Let's watch that video. Wow.
Yeah, two of my
It
best
was a
songs. My
very
brothers,
organic.
Hassan Bhai.
I love that performance.
Oh, thank you so much. It was Eid's performance for Boishaki TV in Dhaka. Yeah. And all the
How
best
many years have
musicians
been
in
since that
town.
performance? How long ago?
Oh, 5, I
Lovely.
guess.
I love that. And we have some messages in the meantime, so I would like to read it out to you. So Tanzila Labuno, hi Ershad and MEHREEN. So nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're doing great. And for you, you can tell her how you're feeling.
Thank you, Tanzila. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, your presence makes it worthwhile.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And she would be calling, I'm definitely sure, because once we open the lines, she'll be calling as well. So we have live phone callers. So Khairul Alam Babul added something very interesting. It's a trip down the memory lane, as I would call it. When I was class 8, I heard MEHREEN ma'am first song Mon Obhilashi. On that day, I became a crazy fan of her.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing, isn't it? After that, I heard O Rajkumar.
Okay. Okay.
So at present day, I try to hear all songs of MEHREEN ma'am. Please, ma'am, sing my request song, Mon Obhilashi, because I returned back my school days life. So he'd like to have that trip down the memory lane himself. So probably, Rajkumar, can you sing a few lines for him? Because I couldn't find probably there. It was quite long back, and we have a music video which was done on BTV, I guess. But after that, there wasn't any live performance that could be found, right? So probably you can do probably a bit of a live singing for.
Yeah, I will definitely do that, and I will do Mon Obhilashi as well.
Okay.
So for Tanzila and
Khairul Alam Babul.
Khairul Bhai, yes.
And Pathur Neil had wow, wonderful moment. That was about the music video that he was watching. And Pathur Neil also said, go ahead, my sweet sister. Mahmoud Raju Ahmed, nice song. And we had Pathur Neil, love all the time. Ganer Onurot Kora Jabe, definitely you can. Unless it's your song and suddenly if someone asks you to sing, say, Chakanaka or something, then that would be a problem, right? Because it happened. People do get requests, say, okay, can you sing me a song of that particular song or that particular person of that artist? So Shornali Mukta Roy, she had tuned in from Canada as well. Welcome and congratulations to both of you. After a long time, I heard, loved it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And regarding the Anari song that you just played, I'm trying to locate the very first video we made of Anari, which was done by Go Banerjee. And
I've seen it.
Telecast on Channel I, so I've requested them to share the video with me. And my YouTube channel, as you know, is MEHREEN Official, and I'm trying to upload all my albums, all my old things. I'm getting all the old albums. So Anari is now is just finished. All the songs are uploaded, and the entire album is uploaded in my. Whenever you get time, just drop by at MEHREEN Official and just subscribe.
MEHREEN Official. So definitely for all the audience, that's the message that you can go if you want to find an old song that was played back in BTV era or anywhere else that was in play, or even the albums that's already there. So you can go and have a look. So YouTube, it's MEHREEN Official, right?
Yeah, MEHREEN. So what I've done is I've made some lyric videos, which is like very simple and just hum along, whoever you want to. Just go back through your memory lanes. So here is Mon Obhilashi.
Please.
Mon Obhilashi bhalobasha kon shopnete hariye jay protiti kshon tomake bhaba ছুঁয়েছো মন কি যে মায়া রজনী যায় তোমারই আশায় এ নিরালায় তুমি কোথায় তুমি আছো ছুঁয়ে আছো অনুভবে ও তুমি আছো জুড়ে আছো তনু মনে So this is Shaki Ahmed and of course Habib Wahid. And the wonderful video was done by Abhigda from Bangladesh. And we did the video at Manikganj in one of the palaces there, palace of.
I have to go and look for that. To be honest, I mean, we have that video. We'll be playing it. Okay, since you have mentioned that one, can we play that?
Yeah, please do. I love it.
Okay, so let's have a look at Mon Obhilashi if we can at the moment. And so let's have the background first, then we'll play the video so they'll know what we're talking about. So it was in Manikganj. You said it's an old historical place of some sort.
It's a Jomidar Bari.
Okay,
and they call it a palace over there. So it was Borshakal. And there was moss on the walls. So Abhigda said, "Can you walk through?" It was between two of the buildings. So it was a very narrow sort of a waterway. And he said, "Can you walk through that?"
Unless you brush against the moss or the shaula, you can't really walk through it, right?
And I was wearing white, and it was.
Oh my goodness!
It was just God's grace. It came out so well, and Abhigda is definitely a wonderful prodigy. So yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at Mon Obhilashi. I mean, since we are talking about that, and Rajkumar, after that, you definitely sing for one of the Pathor Neil said, China Ami Rajkumar ei ganta shonaনোর জন্য অনুরোধ রইল. So we'll definitely do that. So let's have a listen to Mon Obhilashi at the moment. Let's have a look. Wow. I don't know why it was cut short. I was enjoying it. What a lovely composition. And your voice sounded amazing. The video, I mean, you're right. The cinematography and even how you looked. Well, you always look fabulous, but amazing.
The video quality I couldn't do much about, because turning them into HD I tried, but it didn't happen. You just have to compromise. You just have to
Yeah,
visualize.
that's a trade-off, basically. Say, for example, if you started around, say, in the last 5 years or something, probably you had all the facilities and everything, but you have a career of 20 years. So we have to go back to the BTV era where we didn't have all the satellite channels and anything. That's when you
Absolutely.
started. So
Yeah.
we'll have to understand. And back in those days, your songs came out in a cassette rather than
Yeah.
even not in a CD.
No. And well, yes, I am uploading all the things of that quality.
But you can't recreate the memories, right? That's the
No,
thing.
yeah,
You
just
have to.
because whoever have seen it at that time, they would also relate to that low
Yeah.
quality or low res thing.
Yeah.
Because now it's all glitter, glamour, and up
Well,
quality.
lo-fi is a thing, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Lo-fi. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
low. Yeah.
so a nice music
I
video.
know.
Definitely. Music video was amazing, and your voice and how everything was perfect. I love that.
Thank you
Because
so much for appreciating.
no, no,
That
definitely. I mean, it's
so
true. And
good.
it's not that I'm trying to say something to make you happy. It's just truly, I was watching it and the music was so
Thank you.
good.
So
And your voice, how
encouraging.
it came out, your voice had that bassy voice, that low end, which really works, and it covers the whole, because low end is a very important thing, which we sometimes don't understand.
Yeah, and Habib's intention was actually to bring the low out, and this is what I requested him. Yeah, Habib, everybody intends to pull my voice upwards, and all voices are not made to go, shrieky.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this "Tumi Ache Bole" album is very special because of using the low key.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
low.
just keep it as it is, because you have that richness in your voice. And why try to make it something else? That's your uniqueness.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
definitely, that was a very good decision. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's very rich. So you have done, but do you have any folk songs on your albums? Because you have done folk, classical, jazz, fusion, a lot of things you have done over the years. But did you
Um,
try or attempt?
I want to. I
Okay.
want to it, but folk should be the way I want to do folk is
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be very authentic. It's going to be authentic, meaning like the way I feel it and the way I want to express my words. Because I have come across, I was born in a city, and I believe city dwellers, folk song is not for city people. But still, I learned the song from people like Firdausi Rahman, my what a big name,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
should think 3 times before I utter that name. And I've learned from Abdul Latif Ustadji, which
Wow.
again is a huge name and a huge soul, and
Legends in their own right.
it's just a human being who have reached skies. Not only through their art, but through their soul. They
Yeah.
have taken the soul out and given it to muse.
Yeah,
So
you're
the
right. The whole life is dedicated to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been lucky to come across such people, and I have learned that folk is not only the soil, folk is also your soul, your heart,
Exactly. It's a
your
lifestyle. It's a
your
lifestyle.
persona, what the human being that you are, and the
Yeah.
and what the whole zone of folk revolves around human being, their mental faculty, how to enrich a human being, and like Sufism and stuff like
Very
that,
well said. Yeah.
and bringing that human being to the soil, keeping your feet on the soil, and always reminding you that you belong to the
Hmm.
soil, and for people for the
It's more
for
down to earth of an experience. I mean, let's put it that way.
the human being is an entity in eternity. This is what folk is all about. So it's every word of every folk song, no matter how chotul or how or fun the song is, it has to speak about deep thoughts which take you towards a better goal in life.
What's your favorite folk song?
আমি অপার আছি ও হে পরে লয়ে যাও আমার and I have a lot I've one would be আমার গলার হার খুলে নে ও গো ললিতে আমার হার পরে কি হবে সুখী প্রাণ বন্ধু নাই ব্রজেতে ও ললিতে
That's powerful. Yeah. That's really powerful. You should do it. I think you should do a whole album of folk songs. Trust me, people would love that.
Yeah. I wish to. God willing, I wish.
Because you have that. I can see that when you're singing, you definitely get into it. So that's important.
It's not.
Because I definitely interrupted you, what you were saying. Please carry on, because I wanted to hear, and people would love to hear those. And I was surprised how you picked it up straight away into the song. That was good.
I have, music is about your guru. Music is about where you learn from whom you learn, and how you look up to that person. What has that person conveyed to you? It's a man-to-man connection. It's very human connection. So when I saw Latif Ustaji teaching, it was us, because I was in a group class with Latif Ustaji and Firdausi Kala. So when he used to teach us,
it was more in an institution, or you were taking private lessons?
It was Abbasuddin Sangeet Academy, where in 91, I was one of the students in the first batch.
Wow.
And I was, when Ustadji used to teach us, he used to cry. He used to sing and he used to cry. And, it's that emotion with it conveys.
It's a life devoted to music. I mean, they felt it. They lived that life.
Yes. And he would apologize. Look, I get emotional, and don't forgive me for that. And he used to, your tears drop by. So that person, he is.
How would you feel at that age? I mean, you were quite young at the time. When you saw someone crying literally when they're singing, what you would have felt?
I was not that young. I was in my first year of university at that time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and but still, I was stupid. I was like stupid, meaning
naive.
Understand, and a folk song is a lot about emotions.
Yeah, and I think any music is. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ustadji used to, with very nice, kind words, he used to explain every detail of Lalon Giti and other folk songs. So there's this is huge, I would say, gem, a chest of gem that I have for my...
for your grooming.
Yeah. And I just love the natural baul, who are really baul, and who really have brought, put that inside their soul, and regardless of how the world.
Despite being in city life, as you mentioned yourself, that you grew up in that environment, I think people can still be bauls. You can have that nomadic thinking and way of life, and it's still possible. Even for myself, I sometimes think that I am. I mean, I have done many things in my life which just totally doesn't really relate to any timeline. Sorry, in my mind.
You have to be. Otherwise, if you find yourself always bogged down by city life and city pressures, then you lose yourself. So to connect yourself to eternity or to God Almighty, you have to go through folk. And every music genre, even classical, even the big poets of our subcontinent have gone through the folk.
So, in terms of Anari, have you written any lyrics so far for any of your albums?
Ershad, well, I write lyrics when you put a gun on my head. So, so that happened. Yeah, maybe you have to do it right now.
Okay.
It's like that. Yeah. So I wrote Aaj Ek Notun Din. I wrote Every Breath You Take, the Bangla part. So yeah, those
Really? Every breath you take. Okay, we have that. On that video, do we have the Bangla part as well?
Every Breath You Take, yes, it's a reprise version with the Bangla song made by my friend Ax. So yeah.
We'll have a listen for everyone. So definitely. But do you love the way how it came out every time you have written the lyrics, even though you say someone had put the gun just next to your temple or your head, but still you like the result, whatever come out of that?
Ershad, unless I somewhat 70% like the result, I don't put my songs out. Good. It has to be close to 70% of my appreciation, and the rest 30% kills me.
So you're being humble, basically. You're saying, "Oh, look, it's just bolena je binoy."
No,
I think
it's not binoy. It's never complete. It's never 100% right.
Never.
It's never 100% right. So
that's the quest. That's what makes I think good artist. When you're not happy with your work, you always want the next one to be better. So you always like to work towards that.
Yeah. And I put myself to task a lot. I always hang myself. I always shoot myself, kill myself.
But I'm happy you're still alive. So that's a good thing.
I scold myself to a level of, just very bad. So, yeah.
No, I mean, that's what we have to do, trust me. You have to be the best judge, at the same time, best critic of your own work, and the worst critic as well. I mean, I still remember, say, for example, I used to do a regular TV show for 4 years. So every week I had to sing 5 live songs myself. It's a live TV show. So every day I used to come home because it was recorded in the meantime while I was performing on television. So when I come back home, I used to play the whole thing, watch it. And the show would finish at night. I would come home at 12 midnight and watch it. And I'll be like, oh my God, I have to leave music. It's not for me. No.
Yeah.
Right? Do you get that?
I know that happened. And before I started with my album Anari, I was with Shilpakala Academy for 12 long years. Wow. And I was with the stalwarts of national stalwarts and international stalwarts, people of all teams and singers and big people used to come to Shilpakala, and I used to hang, see them perform and see them sing, what goes backstage, how they feel, etc. So I told myself, no, don't do this. You're not good for it. You can't do this. But somehow, things happen. The world moves the way you wish from inside. So that's why I am trying.
So that's the thing. If you believe in yourself, anything is possible. That's the main thing. But sometimes people do listen to that inner voice and also voice from outside everywhere. People are telling you all the negative stuff. But if you can close that, shut that part of the external world and just listen to yourself and work towards it, I think it can happen. Okay, that brings me to, you were supposed to sing Rajkumar for one of the person who had requested. So probably you can sing that. Then we'll go to Every Breath You Take.
And also, I would like to sing China Mi Rajar Kumar. These songs I don't sing.
Also, Rajkumar and China Mi Rajar Kumar are 2 different songs.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Is a very popular song, and China Mi Rajar Kumar is a song I wanted to suppress because it has it's wonderfully composed,
okay,
but it has effect of another song. So I deliberately tried to put it low, but I'll sing it for you.
Please.
China Ami Rajar Kumar One Komota Jeta Laije Ami Churuk Jotoi Taloar চাইলে আমি শুধু একটি মানুষ হৃদয়ে যার বাংলাদেশ, বুঝবে আমায়, ভালোবাসবে আমায়, হৃদয় যার Bangladesh. I apologize for
No, it's fine. It can happen.
yeah, but I was
We
singing
from
the song
You have
probably.
7 albums. Say, I mean, it's been last 20 years, 7 albums, lot of songs, and it's not only your own song. You do a lot of covers, Western songs in different languages. You have even sung in Chinese. You definitely do English. Is there any other language apart from Bangla, English, Chinese?
Japanese, Sri Lankan, Japanese,
Wow.
and some Indian languages like Gujarati stuff. And what? I know Portuguese, Spanish, will love ambas. Yeah, we want to
Okay,
do
my goodness. I mean, 2 hours not enough to listen to all of this.
that. I know. Yeah, so you want to hear Rajkumar?
Yeah, please.
কাটে না প্রহর তোমার বিহনে, একা একা নিরালায়, কত যে দিন কত যে রাত, কত যে থাকি আশায়, সোনালি রথে সওয়ারি হয়ে কবে তুমি আসবে কাছে, মনের প্রাসাদের সিংহাসনে কবে তুমি বসবে হেসে, ও রাজকুমার কবে হবে দেখা তোমার আমার, ও রাজকুমার চোখ শুধু খোঁজে তোমাকে বারবার, ও রাজকুমার মন শুধু বলে তুমি যে আমার, ও রাজকুমার, I just wanna get you wherever you are.
Wow. So something I feel like definitely you have written lyrics as you said, but your song sound is almost like it's tuned for you. So do you have any input in terms of the tuning stage or the composition of it when they're working towards it?
See, I have the input of first saying yes to Tikupai long back in 1993, I guess, or two, or yeah, one. So once I said that yes, like you just came and asked me, "Are you serious?" I said yes, I am serious. So that's when we like 3 people who call themselves the murderers.
Really? Who are they? Who are those murderers?
Yeah, so they were Monoram Tipu, who is a legendary drummer of Bangladesh, who is Fuad Ibn Rabbi, legendary guitarist, and the best human being I came across. And Jangir Haidar Deepan, who is a legendary lyricist, I would say, because
The first 2 of them, they had been in war phase and still Tipu is there. Is the same? Yeah.
yes. Yes, and Deepan Bhai has written lyrics for many popular songs, like many hit songs for big bands and all. So when they found me, they nurtured their idea of bringing Western, a fusion, fusing Western Bangla thing. And then we began the journey. So yes, it was definitely, I didn't say a word. I just listened to them. G bhaiya, G, just G's,
And you want to get murdered.
It took 6 long years, Ershad, to make the album. And I used to work. I used to get the money, only 20K I used to get paid because my father wouldn't give a penny for it. Yeah. So
but that's the thing. Perseverance, you have to work for
that's how
it.
you should do it.
It's precious.
And yeah, many things went along, and I remember Fuad Bhai, I even asked Fuad Bhai, when will you finish the album, Fuad Bhai? My mother is going to get me married, and after marriage I can't.
Is it true? You did. You have 7 albums. The last one is 2018.
Yeah, I told him that, Fuad Bhai, come on, hurry up. How long does it take? So it actually finished after 6 years. And then we took another couple of years to get a producer ready, because at that time, no one wanted to, give any money to people who haven't done much. So all that. So answering your question, yeah, I think my songs were made for me, and then Rajkumar, then Deepan Bhai's creations, the trio's creation, and then recently Jajabor is also a typical song. And we three, like Deepan Bhai, Fuad Bhai, and myself, we have this
Dynamic. Yeah.
dynamics. I don't know what you call this, but they give me a song like Eki Aloy Rangale, and I go to the studio and I just sing it, and it's like, okay, it একটু এভাবে গাও তো, একটু
Can we have a listen to it?
Eki Aloy Rangale ভালোবেসে তুমি আমায় যেন শরতের ঝলমলে আকাশে এই মন হারিয়ে যায় একই বাঁধনে জড়ালে কাছে এসে তুমি আমার যেন শ্রাবণের রিমঝিম বর্ষা ছুঁয়ে দিল মন আমার আকাশে আজ দিয়েছ জোছনা দিলে নতুন আশার প্রেরণা তোমায় ভালোবেসে জেনেছি তুমি আমার ঠিকানা আমার আকাশে আজ দিয়েছ জোছনা. Then in Tumi Acho Bole, Ax did a remake version of this song, and we went like Meki Aloy Rangale Bhalobeshe Tumi Amay Jeno Sraboner things like
but
that.
the thing that brings the point, I think, even though, as you're saying, that it was tuned for you, the composition was thinking you in mind, but I think you have brought something special to it. Because every time you just made it your own. So probably someone else had sung that song. It could have sounded in a different way, but since you have done it, you just owned it. I think, as I can say now, it's the best example that you've given. The same song, you turn it into something different, which you could have done. So yeah, it makes sense.
Well, yeah, but Deepan Bhai and these people, they are visionaries. So once they make songs, they leave the space to be able to turn for the song to be turned around. Yeah. And I think because they belong to the Western genre of music, probably that's why we gelled, because I was also trying to do that. And when I work with them, I find my own zone, own perimeters. So it's easier for me to sing their songs. Like Jajabor is just last year. It's just last year, and they still scold me the way they used to scold in.
Probably you can sing a few lines of Jajabor as well, since we're talking about it, so people would know.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I was saying, they asked me, "Will you be able to sing? You haven't been singing for so long. So what do you think?" I said, "Deepan Bhai, I know. I am still the Anari that
I was born to sing."
I was back in that studio, Shruti. So you just have to keep your fingers crossed. Let me go to the studio. Let me see what happens. So then you decide if you want to keep the song or scrap it out. Now Jajabor is here. তুমি যাযাবর তোমার মনের ঘর দাও আমায় আমার ব্যাকুল মন খোঁজে সারাক্ষণ তোমারই ঠিকানা যাযাবর একবার থেমে দাঁড়াও দেখা দিয়ে অন্তরে আবার কেন হারাও যাযাবর কোথায় যাবে বলো ভালোবাসার প্রান্তরে আমায় নিয়ে চলো যাযাবর আমায় নিয়ে চলো.
Wow.
So yeah.
No, so
Yeah,
Jajabor, I think, how about that's your latest project, I think.
that is the latest one.
So let's play that one. Well, I mean,
Oh,
people would
thank
like
you.
to know, saying, so yeah, we have Jajabor. Let's have a listen to it. Let's watch Jajabor. And that's, I love that, how it came about. It has a different vibe as well, how the composition was made.
Yeah, it came out so well.
Because it was more like a bit of a dance track, and it's
No.
really interesting.
We
So
wanted to make people happy. So
yeah, that's the thing.
happiness
And
is
this is the
fiber.
time. When it came
Yeah.
out, what was the year? 2020, right?
It was 2019 when it came out for BTV Anandamela.
Mhm.
And in 2020, when the video got ready, we were hugely delayed for the video.
Okay.
Because we did a lyric video back then.
Okay.
It was made by a friend in Bombay,
Oh.
Chinmay. And when the main video came out by Sarif Khan, it was COVID days, and
Okay.
I thought whether people would appreciate. As I said, I never want to jeopardize. I think a lot of things before I do one work or I deliver something.
Yeah.
So then I thought that people might look for entertainment at this time of
Definitely.
confinement and all that thing. So we just released it. So
let's have a look. Let's watch how well it did in terms of that goal, how much it achieved. Everyone would love it. I loved that. I watched it myself.
Thank you.
So let's watch Jajabor.
যদি মরিচিকা হয়ে রয়ে যাও আড়ালে তুমি যাযাবর আমার মনের ঘর দেখেও দেখলে না আমার ব্যাকুল মন খুঁজে সারাক্ষণ তোমারই ঠিকানা যাযাবর
Yes. I was just tapping my feet. I was like, because the lower that, I loved that. That was good. I mean, come on, that was really a great job. I mean, I love that song. I think everyone would love it. I think we should take some phone calls at the moment. What do you think? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
People are
absolutely.
chomping at the bit. I can see they would like to talk, and probably it won't be a direct communication with you because you're not on the same phone line as I am. But you can hear, listen to them. You can respond, and which they can definitely hear later on. We have a lot of musicians, as I can see on the list, that they have tuned in. So we should have the line open at the moment. So people who'd like to get in touch with us, talk to us live on at the studio, it's you can call through WhatsApp, as you know. It's 0700447. The number is already there, 308192908. So wherever you want to call me from, whichever part of the world, you can do that. And we are ready. The lines are open. It's 004473081929908. So we're waiting for your call. And definitely people, I know that many people who've been leaving their messages and they'd like to talk to MEHREEN directly.
Oh, and I'm waiting.
Yeah, I love that. I love the spirit. You know, the thing is that your personality is very infectious in a sense that people have to feel happy. They have to smile because you are such a smiling face yourself.
Yeah, and Ershad, see, life has no other option but to smile.
You're right. And
Because
especially
every moment
during this
you
crisis
keep
as well, that keeps you alive.
Not only the crisis, but every life has got crisis. Even a 2-year-old
Yeah.
baby has got some problems.
Yeah, life is all about suffering. That's what they say.
Yeah, so you have to know how to smile and overcome. So,
Yeah.
and what is music but to keep you happy?
Yeah.
So, and my type of thing is, to keep you happier than happy. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
in the
everything.
meantime, I think we can keep talking about the other projects that you've done. You have worked with some international stars as well, or international, I would say, producers, music directors. Because in India, you have worked on the same platform with A.R. Rahman, I understand, and there are some other European producers you work with. So, what are those experiences? If you could share with us, because you work with Pundit Tanmoy Bose, then Bikram Ghosh. Yeah, Rahman, definitely. That was, I think you were there as a judge. We have a phone caller. Let's take that one. Hello?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Do you hear me?
Hello? Sorry? Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello.
Hello, hi, Tanzila. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. Thank you.
There I can say MEHREEN there.
Hey!
Yeah, Mary is there. She
Yeah,
can see you.
Yeah, MEHREEN, কেমন আছো তুমি? কেমন আছো? তুমি বলি কারণ আমার মনে হয় আমার কাছাকাছি বয়স।
আমি ভালো
Yeah.
আছি। আমি তুমি
শুনতে
বলি
পাচ্ছ না আমার কথা?
জি, আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি। আমার কথা শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? I'm really grateful that you called, Tanzila.
কি হলো আজকে কথা?
Tanzila, she can hear you. The thing is that since she's not on the same phone line as I am,
সেইটাই আসলে প্রবলেম।
but you won't be
ঠিক আছে, আমি
able to.
বলি-
Yeah, but she can hear you.
হ্যাঁ, অসুবিধা নাই। আমি বাংলায় বলি। আমি বলি যে তার আমি সে বোধহয় ইউনিভার্সিটিতে থাকতে বোধহয় সে বোধহয় টিন সামথিং কিছু একটা হয়েছিল বোধহয় বিউটি প্রেজেন্টে or something like that.
I don't know. What was that? Okay, we'll talk about this one after we've taken the phone call. We'll listen from you directly. Because MEHREEN is laughing now. I mean, she would definitely have to share with us what happened.
যাই হোক, মেরিনকে আমি বলি বাংলায় বলি এসব বাংলা বলতে পারি?
Please, go ahead.
হ্যাঁ, ওভার মেহরিনের আলাদা একটা স্টাইল আছে। আই লাভ হার স্টাইল। আর আরেকটা কথা যে সে আসলে রক মিউজিক এন্ড জ্যাজ মিউজিক এন্ড ফিউশন বাংলা মানে এত সুন্দর করে করেছে, মানে প্রত্যেকটা মিউজিক ভিডিও এই জন্য মানুষ পছন্দ করে যে তার একটা স্টাইল আছে।
Yeah, she's our pop icon, right?
হ্যাঁ, and তার স্টাইলটা আমার I like her style, believe me, I like her style.
Yeah.
And my voice also, my vocal also very deep also.
Powerful, unique.
Yes, it is.
Oh, lovely call.
ভালো লাগে।
You just brought all the qualities that really makes MEHREEN tick. I think you have just
She's
spoken
good
about all
looking
these
too.
things.
She is good looking too. That's why. That's the main reason, She's very pretty.
Okay,
Still very pretty.
I think we have done. Everything's covered. Now the show is over. We don't need to do.
Yeah.
There's
And
nothing
I
else to
love
talk
her
about.
hairstyle too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely call.
আমার মনে হয় মেহরিন বোধ হয় নাজমা জামানের কিছু আত্মীয় হয় বোধ হয় আমার কেন জানি মনে হয় সাম রিলেটিভ নাজমা জামান শাইলা জামান ওদের রিলেটিভসও
Oh, everything is coming out. Okay, you have done a lot of research. You beat me there.
মেহরিনকে আমি সামনে দেখি নাই কিন্তু আমি জানি আর কি ওর সম্বন্ধে আমি
Okay.
এয়ারপোর্টে দেখেছিলাম ওকে আমি
Wow,
আমি
beautiful.
কানাডা থেকে যাচ্ছিলাম আমি এয়ারপোর্টে মেহরিনকে দেখেছি মেহরিন বোধহয় কলকাতা থেকে আসছিল ওর লাগেজের জন্য ওয়েট করতেছিল আমি ওকে দেখেছি
Wow.
কিন্তু কথা বলি নাই আর কি
You know all the details, and it's such,
Yes, I like her.
Yeah. Wow.
I like her music. I like her style.
such a lovely fan, isn't it, Marion? I mean, you definitely would agree that's
I'm
such
a
a lovely
singer too.
fan.
I'm a music lover and I'm a singer. So I like to sing all kind of songs. But Usha Uttab also. That's why I wrote here that you are a Bangladeshi Usha Uttab.
Even Usha did that.
So definitely the voice similarities of the voice.
In my eyes, I don't know. In my eyes.
No,
But
Thank you.
she's quite beautiful. That's why.
Oh, lovely.
You need beauty and talent. You need two things: beauty and talents.
And she has both.
She has it. Yes.
Lovely call. I'm loving it. Basically, the thing is that you are always a regular caller, and every time you have different inputs for any guest that we have, and for Mehreen, or it's such an inspiration because this is
Yeah.
what you live for, isn't it?
Actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely what we live for.
সেটাই কথা তো ভালো থাকো আমি আরো কতগুলো গান শুনছি আর কি যাযাবর তো আমার ওয়ান অফ দ্য মাই ফেভারিট যাযাবর আনারি and other song too আমার ভালো লাগে খুব ওর গানগুলো
There are a lot of other songs as well we have to play.
and I can dance with it. That's why I like the vibe.
I wish we could see you. Just put a cam and we can see you. Just add you there and we see Tanzila's dancing.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, definitely. So if you want, you can put a video up probably on your social media and we can watch it later on.
Yeah, I saw that. I have already seen that.
Okay, definitely. All right, Tanzila, have a great evening. Thanks for your call.
Okay, then.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Always. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, then. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. So what a lovely call, isn't it?
Yeah, Tanzila, she didn't hear me, but I'm sure she's going to watch
Now.
this replay. And Tanzila, thank you so very much. You made my day. You made my entire, it's a nutshell of entire life that you just said with so much good adjectives. You saw the good in me because I also have bad. I also have whatever.
What was that thing she was talking about back in those days that you were laughing about? What was that?
I will answer. I will answer all of them. One is university beauty pageant. This was called Mr. and Miss University Beauty Pageant, which was held in Tokyo around 1993 and all. So you had to write an essay and apply for the thing. And then I did that. I won the thing. And I went to Tokyo. And I won a title, actually. I won the second position there. Next to Miss Venezuela, I was second, and then third was Miss Tanzania. So that's about the beauty pageant. And what shall I say? And then the next one was Nazma Zaman. Yes, she's my khala. She's my mother's cousin, first cousin. So that makes her my khala. And I grew up with her songs.
That's what makes that pop thing inside you. That's how you were inspired. I can see that now.
Absolutely. And when I was a beginner in early 2000, when I was on stage, I used to come down from stage and people used to say, we just took a bet. Are you related to her? I said, she was so big. I wanted my little name to, shine first, and then
definitely.
I didn't want myself to be known by my parents or any of my family members. So that
family members, yeah.
That was a huge effort I had to put, Ershad, and I had to keep her name, So, but it was so prominent the way I look, or I don't know what. I don't know what. And people used to ask me, "Are you related to her? Or does she?" I said, "Look, yes, I am, but don't go tell anyone."
But
So
it's a secret.
yeah. So yeah, and all that. And the last one was Ushadi. Ushadi is very close to me. When we had a show together in Scotland, Edinburgh, no, in Manchester.
Okay.
So towards my end, Ushadi was backstage. She was waiting for her turn to get in, and she said, "You sound so much like me." I said, "Ushadi." Well, yeah, coming from you, it makes a lot different. But I know her from my Shilpakala days, and you're talking about AR, you're talking about Tanmoy Da and Bikram Da. I not only worked with them, I'm sort of they love me so much. They would invite me home. They would, I ate in their houses. So it's amazing to think how these big people consider me their sister. And I have not done direct work with them. Like Bikram Da, I haven't done anything which came out. We did do recordings several times, and one of Bikram Da's album reached Grammy nominations, but it didn't get through. But still, we are like in total communication. He's like a mentor. Tanmoy Da, we did 2 live shows for Akash Bangla and another TV channel there, which was
music. Tara Music could be that one.
Tara Music. I was the first Bangladeshi to make their album. I was the first Bangladeshi to be working for them, and I have huge memory with Tara Music, and AR.
To be honest, you have done some work which is globally. You have been around and doing many things, but you say in a very matter-of-fact way, Ershad, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. I mean, I really appreciate the humbleness.
But big things too, and we don't even know. You don't even show it, Ershad. You are an epitome of what shall I say, modesty and.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah, it's not that, but these people are, coming close to them made me understand that music is so vast, so varied. They also, I'm sure AR doesn't feel, I can speak it for himself. Yeah. He doesn't feel he's AR,
It comes naturally. It's like, okay, what are you talking about? Whenever I just put my hand there, he's just doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
And there was this, one morning when I was in another room next to his studio. I was waiting for him for his free time. Yeah. And then I heard a piano. I heard just some note, just a note or 2. And, I would never forget, Ershad, that note.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had...
it's the emotion that evokes. I mean, when you listen to something like that suddenly you feel something, you're uplifted.
I go to his concerts. I go 2 days ahead because I make it a point that I don't miss the practice sessions.
Oh,
and
wow.
I always want to take photograph with him. I want to take a photo.
So you've been to quite a lot of practice sessions of those concerts. That's amazing.
Not too many, as much as I could. I would love to go global or everywhere. But only in Indian concerts, yes, in Bangladesh.
But still, that's a Rahman concert. And also, you have been a judge in Bandwagon, where Bandwagon, that's where you were there with A. Rahman, isn't it? On the same, because he was making a special appearance, probably.
Yes, he came as a final judge.
Okay,
and
final judge.
Samit and myself, we did the judgment for all 3 months, and he came as a final judge. And his name was written in the PowerPoint presentation when we first did yes. So yeah, so one concert I will never forget is the one he did with Babelsberg Orchestra. It was in Chennai, and I said that was supposed to be held in Kolkata. So I said I knew he wouldn't be in Kolkata; he would be in Chennai. So I flew to Chennai without any notice. And I told him, look, I'm here.
Wow.
And then the next morning when the concert was there, my VIP ticket was in my hotel. And so he takes care of every details of his fans. And whenever I go to his concerts, I said, I want to take a photo with you. And he said, you take a photo now.
Yeah, you talk like that.
So these little things, I'll never forget about AR. And he's so there for you, for his fans, I would say, because yes, I am a fan. He calls me his sister. That is his modesty or his greatness. But
did you ever think about working with him, or he offered something to you that he'd like to work in a project or something?
No. According to him, it's time, and that one.
And also the project where your voice would be suitable, definitely.
That is up to him, actually. And he is the one who always tells me time is what guides you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
When that would happen.
Yeah.
But
we never know. Probably it's coming. It's in the making. We never know. And suddenly one find it. That's how he does it. I heard. He just picks up the phone. Okay, can you come? This is the song I'm sending. Can you come to the studio and do it?
So I don't even care if it never happens, because I am blessed with his, and I think he's a perfect example of a Muslim person who knows how to behave and who knows how to love, who knows how to. So I'm talking too much on this, and I live on, actually, Ershad, I live on the memories that I have with him. This person.
No, I mean, definitely, he's such a legend. And in the last couple of episodes I've done, we have his name came about a lot of times. I've discussed with a lot of other guests because they're from India, and they have these projects we're talking about. Because I remember for myself, back in the school days, I think, or probably in college, I don't know, when the first time Roja came out, the first time I heard that song, Ye Hasi Wadiyan, the orchestration and everything was so amazing. I was like, wow, what am I hearing out of my speakers? Because in Bollywood, you couldn't even imagine back in those days that kind of music. So he started the trend. So definitely he deserves that. And then, well, there's definitely, you would talk about him. It's not surprising. But as you said, we have talked a lot. So how about some music? We can watch a music video, especially we're talking about Every Breath You Take, and that's a reprise. And we have that one. How about that?
To that, the tune is also by me, so hope you like it.
Okay, definitely.
I'll do the Bangla part and then go to the English.
Yeah, then we'll watch the video as well.
Okay. Sorry, I'll start again. Sorry for my.
Please.
যেই দিনেরই শেষে স্মৃতিটুকু শুধু তারে আশা দিয়ে যায়. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? How my poor heart aches every step you take, every breath you take, every move you make, every time, every step
you break, every step you take, I'll be watching.
I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you.
Wow, it's a nice combination of this Western genre, and I wasn't expecting anything like that because it came out like totally a classical start, Indian classical, and then it more like in that genre. So how about we have a listen to that? Let's watch that video.
Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
Let's do it. Let's do that with everyone who's watching the show tonight.
Yeah.
So that's every.
Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you sing, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. How I pray, every breath you take. No, तूने छोड़े बेदे गाने देखी तारे কথা বলে যায় মারে মারে এসে তবু পিছু ফিরে সে শুধু কেন চলে নতুন সুরে বেঁধে এই গানে দেখি তারে কথা বলে যায় বারে বারে এসে তবু পিছু ফিরে সে শুধু কেন চলে যায় You belong to me. Now I take so every breath you গরুরের রং মেখে সেই চেনা রোদে হাত ঝাড়িয়ে দিয়ে যায় সেই দিনের শেষে স্মৃতিটুকু শুধু তারই আশা দিয়ে You belong to me. Now I take so every breath you take, every breath you I'll be watching you.
Wow, that was something. I love that. And especially every time you went to that high part, that high register part, that was amazing. Loved it. Beautiful.
Thank you. I should praise a lot, you know.
Now I have to listen to the songs again, trust me. Because with the headphone, I was just banging in my head. I was like, oh, yes.
Means a lot. Is that I have a little small life, you know, small contribution to music. So, you know, if somebody like you saying big things.
No,
means a
no,
lot.
no. Trust me. It's
Working
a
with
privilege
so
to
many
have you
people,
here on that
yeah.
show today.
No, not at all, not at all. And this song was, I would say, like the thing was done by Ax, and I think he did an amazing job. And the video was done by Ashish Manchanda. Ashish Da is one of the biggest sound engineers of Bombay, and he takes special, what shall I say, notice of all my work. And yeah, we are.
No, I can tell. The sound was amazing. And
Yeah.
well, your voice, that part, that whenever it went to the high register part and how you delivered that one, because the thing is, one thing is to copy someone and one thing is to make it your own. So how you did it, it was your own thing rather than trying to do what Sting did.
And you'll be surprised to know, it's like it came out so accidentally. Ax put me on the studio to do something else, and I did something else. And then when he listened to it, he said, "Okay, we'll keep this."
Wow!
And then
and the Bengali part as well. How it blends in. You did a great job.
He did
It's a lovely
amazing.
song.
He did an amazing job actually. And then we did one antara, and then he said, "Gunpoint again. You have to do another one." The second antara, Ershad, we did with SM58, and it was done on Axe's home, like Axe's little.
That's what you're using at the moment, to be honest, right? That's the same.
Yeah.
mic.
So yeah, it was done with this microphone, and we didn't have time for going to the studio, so we just had to do it. And I think it's Axe's mastery to bring it out like
But
that.
SM58 is such a good mic anyway. I mean, it's a standard, industry standard. So
Love it.
there's nothing wrong about it. Yeah,
I love it, but you know what I mean by going to the studio. And then,
I mean, like it's just done in a very informal way, as what you
yeah.
say.
So you tell yourself, we did the best. We went to the best. We recorded. We put best.
No, I
in
mean, when good people are there, they know their craft. Say you're singing and the producing at the same time, the sound engineer. They know what to do about this one. To be honest, nowadays people are even making music in GarageBand, and many big producers. They even. So people are even winning Grammys with working at say Billie Eilish. Recently, she was working with her brother in the bedroom, and that's what the first album was all about. And she won the Grammy, and they're such big thing now. So it's all about your craft. I mean, how you bring it out. And people don't even listen, because many times they have listened to, I mean, they have recorded many of the things. You can literally hear some other sounds. But who cares? When the music is good, no one cares about it.
And now is the time for authentic elements. Now is the time for being authentic, or being clear about what you do. So I think
everything is so good now. So I mean, there's some other twist you have to add to it, because you have all those facilities. Back in those days when you're doing everything analog, then if something came out really nice, then you're like, okay, we have done a good job.
Yeah.
But now you can do it even sitting in your bedroom. So
you don't like flawless anymore. You want flaws. You want to see that person in its true self. That's why you have candid videos. That's why you need to present yourself the way you are. So yeah, I think that's very much in at the moment, being natural.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing as well. So in terms of your album, we have been talking about Anari. Dekha Hobe. Dekha Hobe was a very popular song as well, isn't it? It was more in the vibe of, it's kind of a Latin song.
Yes.
The Latin vibe it had, I would say.
Manam Bhai is another person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who is like, who is so huge, so large, so talented. I wouldn't go into the direction of talent. He's like, okay, to me, just do this just as a. So, and I love the way he works. I love the commanding attitude that he has, and also the way he makes things very easy. So whenever he saw me for the first time, he said, "You're going to sing this calypso thing for me." So I said, "How did you know I could do that?" He said, "I didn't know much, but you're going to do it." And then he came
Or you
up.
can pull it off. He could tell from your voice or your style.
Yeah, he just did an amazing job. I had a little problem with the scale, but he managed. It came out so good. And a video was done by Shubhro Khan, whose career began with my videos in Dekha Hobe album, and now he's a very big drama producer. So
Dekha Hobe. I mean, I'm trying to find if we have Dekha Hobe. If we have that, I'd like to play it.
I think it's in my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is on your YouTube, so people can watch it probably if they'd like to. But you can probably sing live Dekha Hobe, a little bit of Dekha Hobe. So.
ধুলো মাখা পথে শুধু চেয়ে থাকি আশায় তোমাকে পাওয়ার আকুলতায় দেখা হবে কি হবে না মনে দ্বিধা জাগে আমার চঞ্চল মন বলে সারাক্ষণ জানি দেখা হবে আবার প্রেম পিয়াসি মন ছোটে নীল ঠিকানায় ঘেরা পরি হয়ে ভালোবাসা ছড়ায় ধুলো মাখা পথে শুধু চেয়ে থাকি আশায় তোমাকে পাওয়ার আকুলতায় দেখা হবে মনে দ্বিধা জাগে আমার চঞ্চল মনে বলে সারাক্ষণ জানি দেখা হবে আবার
Did you have that part? Did you have that?
I had it on my shows.
Oh, that's good.
Musicians played so well, they just put all and Manam Bhai's keyboarding is easy too.
Yeah.
So when they do that, on the guitars, they play, they want to go acoustic, and that Spanish thing is just mind-blowing.
One of my school friends, one of my school friends, when we were very young, he played with you a few times, I think. Shafayat.
He still does. We still exchange texts today, yesterday. Yeah. We're still in communication. All my people who are not doing music with me are still somehow connected with me, and I love it.
Oh, definitely. That's a community that you work with, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can see all your albums, they came out around like in a gap of 2 years. Like 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, then 7. Well, that's 1 year. Then 2008. But you have a gap of Tumi Acho Bole and 7. Do you call it 7 or what do you call it? 7. So there's a gap of 7 years. Why was that?
I am a very naughty artist. I'm a very
in what terms?
handle artist. The gap of 2 years was supposed to be a gap of 2 months because at that time artists were supposed to bring out albums every month or every 2 months or
you were in a contract or something?
No, not like that. But I was working with one of the I was a rolling artist at that time, and I had to deliver on time. But instead of that, I chose, my daughter was born, so I had to give time at home. I was away for 2 years. And then I came up with, because my child was born in 2000, my album was born in 2000, Anari, and then I had to give time to my
But your
child.
marriage never had a problem with that, right? As you said, come on, bring it out quickly because I'm getting married soon. But so your marriage didn't have any issues with your music career. It went pretty well, smooth.
I didn't give my home chance to complain also. I because 2 years for an album is a long time. So you can say I was mostly house person as well. I was a stage person.
Homemaker.
I would say. Then 2 years after came Dakha Hobe. Then again I was out away for 2 years thinking what should I do, what to do, what should I bring out, and then another 2 years to get the next one out. And then Don't Let Me was actually not done in Bangladesh, it was done in Kolkata. It was a project for Tara Bangla, and then Tara Bangla, something happened with them. We it brought the album to Channel iMusic, and then it was distributed through iMusic. Then yes, Tumi Acho Bole took very long. I think my son was born in 2006, and I had to stop at that time because it's a reality for parents, or especially for moms, to take care of the little one first. And at least I would like to. I wanted to do that. I wanted to give that attention to the child. So 2008, that album came out, Tumi Acho Bole.
But in 2007, you did something called Tomar Jonno video compilation. So it's more like all the videos that came out, you put them together. Is it like that?
What happens is like, the producers we give the songs to, they do all these mashups. They want to keep the artist going. They want to keep their audience going. But I wouldn't work so randomly. I didn't want to, I don't know. There was no mechanism for me, but there was no calculation actually. But I just felt I needed space. I needed some time for myself, for my music to, flourish and work it out, work the way out. Then Heaven was actually singles coming out before Tumi Acho Bole, after Tumi Acho Bole. So it 7 was actually the album where I thought I would only lead a digital life and I will not do any album.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I realized, like,
what prompted that decision? Is it because album was a big thing? Every artist would think that they'll have to bring out an album, but that attraction, did it get lost at some point?
No,
that you feel?
No. It was the transition of, we were moving on to digital thing at that time. If you remember, we were compelled to go digital, and then the world was moving towards digital. There were companies in Bangladesh who were moving to digital. So we were.
But again, from the commercial point of view, there's not much of a payback anymore because people download music, they get it free, and even worse in Bangladesh, especially due to copyright laws, the lack of it. So it's even harder. I mean, people, bringing out an album. I think it's better to bring out their singles nowadays rather than an album, because album takes a lot of time.
That's why, Ershad, we decided that, we put so much effort on each song. So we should bring out just one song, rather than a full album of no good music. And I wanted to do one song with very good effort, with a big bang, videos and all that. So there you go. Every song of 7 was each song given time to, like Bachchu Bhai's Aminari took a while, and then it was promoted, it was videographed, it was all that. And then Dhol was a song we did for Music Award, Channel Music Award in Sharjah. So Dhol was also a song we produced for it took a long time.
How many songs were there? Was it 7 as well?
No, 7.
So what was the thing about this name? Why did you name it 7?
It was like I wanted to nail that it was my 7th album, and all the rest of the things, they didn't mean anything. So I did 6 before that, and 7 was the 7th album, and my life would start after.
It's more like Adele, 21, 25, and things like that. So your one is 7.
I don't know about Adele, but for me, it was to nail the number, and to for myself.
That was long after you, basically, because you came back in 2000. I mean, she came more like a recent phenomenon.
Yeah, Ershad, like I do have notions and some strategies and some ideas, which if I probably, if there were time, I would say,
I think since we have spoken quite a lot about Tumi Acho Bole, I'd like to watch the music video of Tumi Acho Bole. How about that? Yeah.
I'll be back. Yeah,
let's do that. Let's watch Tumi Acho Bole and let's share it with the audiences who are watching it from all around the world. So it's Tumi Acho Bole.
Thank you.
By Beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm revisiting all these songs today because it's a different experience. Because being with you at the moment, talking to you, and then knowing a little bit about the albums, talking about it, and listen to it. So that's really it adds a lot of value to it. So, who was the composer, producer of the song?
Hami Wahid, my fave. And Shovik Queen was the lyricist of this song and videographed by Ovik.
Beautiful.
Performed
And-
by MEHREEN, don't forget. My website is mehreen.net.
Yeah, please. I mean, we definitely have to have this shout out so people can go have a look and revisit all the songs. Tumi Acho Bole. What a beautiful song. I mean, I was listening to the things that you're singing as we were talking about. We haven't talked much about it. As I was saying, it's a unique voice. You have this deep, rich, low end as well in your voice. But it's not only about the tonality of it, but at the same time, how you deliver it. The soulfulness of it. I mean, I used to liken your voice. I don't know if you had mentioned it anywhere, but I found that you have this likeness with Sade.
Well, yeah. Mo Nobila, she was, especially Adhu Alo Adhare was Habib's idea of bringing the Shade in Bangla. So, yeah, I have to.
But were you ever influenced by her growing up, listening to her music?
No.
It's amazing.
No.
You have that thing, that, I don't know, that breathy, low end type of thing. It's really, I love that. And
thank you.
You
should love it. And the video is also comparatively new, so I'm sure you would love it.
Which one?
And that
the
video
line broke, so we missed it.
Another
which song did you mention about? Sorry.
Adhu Alo Adhare.
Adhu Alo Adhare. We have that. I mean, since we are coming towards the end, even though I don't want to, I'm loving this chat. Adhu Alo Adhare, I think we can have a listen to that one. How about that? Adhu Alo Adhare, I think we have that. Yeah. So we can listen to Adhu Alo Adhare. Then I'm going to talk to you about Bondhuta, which came out in 2018. Because as you said, it's more like a research for you rather than an album. So I want to know about that. So let's watch Adhu Alo Adhare since we have mentioned about this, and you said we should listen to it. So why should we deliver about this whole thing, this viewership and everything, whoever's watching it? So let's watch Adhu Alo Adhare. Sorry, we're just going back to back to music videos. Why not? If we can.
Yeah.
আধো আলো আঁধারে শত মানুষের ভিড়ে সহসায় মন ছুঁয়ে দিয়েছ কখন সবই যেন লাগে আজ স্বপ্নের মতো শহরের কোলাহল ছেড়ে চলো না যাই হারিয়ে যাই আজ এই রাতে আধো আলো শত মানুষের ভিড়ে সহসায় মন ছুঁয়ে দিয়েছ কখন সবই যেন লাগে আজ স্বপ্নের মতন চলো তোমারই সেই ঠিকানায় ছুঁয়ে নিবিড়ে রংধনু মায়ায় মানুষের ভিড়ে সহসায় মন ছুঁয়ে দিয়েছ কখন সবই যেন লাগে আজ স্বপ্নেরও মতন
Beautiful, beautiful. Trust me, I
Actually,
rediscovered your music today. I mean, I've
thank you.
listened to this music before, but the thing is that I'm just watching them, listening to them, and this laid back quality of the music. And this was like with this little bit of saxophone and this. What was the idea behind this composition? Is there anything in particular? As you
This
say, you already
one,
mentioned a few words about a few things about this.
this one was Shade, absolutely, because it was Habib's idea to bring out Bangla of that faculty. And yeah, so I do have to hear about Shade a lot. And you must listen to, before you end, you must listen to Anando Loke of my Bondhut album. And that's like another different thing that I think you'd love. You love the video as well and the song. And so, yeah, there's nothing behind making, but job, you know. And whenever in a song,
But definitely, there is a vision, right? Every time you come up with a
job.
project, even you working with a producer, be it Habib Wahid, and mostly, as you said, that's he's your favorite. So you have this vision that, okay, this is what we want to achieve. And I think that's what's special about it. It's not about, okay, let's bring out a single. Let's do something. We haven't done something for a while. Let's do something. It's not about that. It's you definitely have a plan.
It's never that I haven't done things for a long time and let's do it. No, it's just I always do things, but I pick the best for my audience. You know, there are a lot of favorite songs who are just lying there and we couldn't finish meaning like reach the finish point because the song has to be finished, you know.
Yeah.
এমনিতে আমাদের technologically we have these hiccups, a lot of drawbacks back home. তারপরেও যদি we're not serious about the finish thing as much as possible, it doesn't pay off.
But still, technologically,
So
I would say, because I have been talking to a lot of younger musicians at the same time, mixing engineers, producers. Everyone has, most of them are quite well equipped, I would say. Back in those days, things were like, it's only a few, like probably Fuad and Habib Wahid, they had those things. But now everyone has quite a lot of things. Even in your own studio, I can see you're building it up. I can see a lot of interesting things you have at your possession. So it's coming up. You'll have your own studio where you can get things done. It'll be easier in a sense. And I think
I'm thinking of starting my musical career, Ershad. I am at the verge of starting it. Jajabor was actually a starting point of main phase of my life. So I have to play it serious this time because this is my last chance of making it good.
What do you, I mean, I didn't get that. You're saying you are planning of starting your musical career, which started back in 2000 and it's been going well. Amazing. And what are you talking about it?
That was the groundwork. Now
okay.
I think we're going to start good.
So what's the plan for that? I mean, what had been missing that you want to bring now? What do you think?
I now know how to do it. I now know the game. You know, I now know the trade.
Yeah.
No meaning like, you know, I just have
the ins and outs, a lot of it's not only about singing. There are a lot of other things that goes definitely at the background.
I'm taking care of my YouTube channel, which only has 5,000 subscribers. I want to, you know, make it sound or make it look proper and
And right, 15 million views. You know, this is the thing in Bangladesh now. Every song come out, okay, 10 million, 5 million, 6 million. It's another interesting thing I see.
Yeah, well, at least, you know, it has to look decent, if not millions, but at least it has
Trust
to
me,
rise.
all the music videos we have played so far, I mean, even the last one. Oh my God, that was amazing. I love the music, and I'm listening to
Saying
it.
that,
Who was the music? Who was the director?
for the last one,
Yeah, for the
Adwalo,
for the
Adwalo,
video and everything.
his name is also Abhik, but he is stationed in Bombay. The entire shooting
All
was done in
right.
Bombay. And
Okay.
Bombay rained so bad during my shooting days, during the 2 days of my shoot. We couldn't shoot much because it was thoroughly raining. So
All
what we
right.
did was we had to, put the entire crew inside my hotel room and we shot it from there. So, and we took some footages outside. My director lost those footages. So we had to
Oh,
settle with very, very little footage.
came out
And
well.
it came out so well because Abhik is a talented dude and he's just too good at his
Yeah.
trade. And we
And the
planned
music was good. You're singing. I don't have to add
well.
anything to that.
Planned it
So
well.
everything worked. It's gelled.
Yeah. Mm.
So
Yeah. And
Bondutha 2018, as you were saying, it's a research. What do you mean by that?
okay, Bondhuta is actually a celebration in my eyes.
Mhm.
Celebration of the two great poets of our life, Rabindranath Tagore and Nazrul Islam.
Okay.
See, they are two generations apart, but when Nazrul was small, Tagore was big,
Yeah.
and Tagore loved Nazrul. He always, pampered Nazrul. He always, and Nazrul was the biggest fan of Tagore songs. Nazrul knew the entire Gita Vitan by heart.
How they liking it, like Byron and Keats.
Well, and yeah, and I wanted to bring this friendship thing through my voice. So I chose. I have to remember my Ustadji who planted the seed of this concept. That look, never differentiate them, never bring a mark between them, because they themselves were very good friends and they loved each other like crazy. Like friends wouldn't be the right word, but it's like acquaintances and beloveds of each other, and more like appreciative of each other's
Yeah.
faculties. Rabindranath knew what Nazrul was, and Nazrul looked up to Tagore.
Definitely.
So, they had this amazing tie, amazing bond, amazing understanding. So I wanted to, bring them together in one album. And this album has been blessed by Sayyid Manjurul Islam, who is my teacher, and in my eyes, he's one of the most knowledgeable persons in Bangladesh. So I wanted him to.
You mean the professor of English? So
Yes,
okay.
yeah. So, and the profile of two great poets was drawn by Mannan Bhai, who is a specialist in.
So we
painting
have
for-
Tagore songs and Nazrul Giti as well, both in one
Yes.
album.
Yes,
Music-
Shubhendra Shostaji taught me this, and he used to sing both the poets.
What's your favorite Tagore song there in the album? Or you enjoyed singing that, or something special about it that you feel?
Do you have time for me?
Yeah.
ধরিয়া রাখিও সোহাগে আদরে আমারো পরু পাখি তোমার প্রাসাদ প্রাঙ্গণে মনে করে সুখী বাঁধিয়া রাখিও আমার হাতেরও রাখি তোমার অনুকনে ভালোবেসে সুখী নিভৃতে যতনে আমার নামটি লিখো তোমার মনের So yeah, we have 5 Tagore songs and 5 Nazrul songs.
So since we have done the Tagore song, why not one Nazrul Giti as well? Sorry, I've been very demanding.
Rum jum rum jum ke ba যায় জলঝুমঝুমি চমকিয়া যাকে ঘুমন্ত বনভূমি রুমঝুম রোমঝুমকে বাজায় জলঝুমঝুমি চমকিয়া যাকে ঘুমন্ত বনভূমি রুমঝুম রোমঝুমকে বাজায় দুরন্ত অরণ্যগিরির ঝরিণী রঙে সঙ্গে লয় বনের হরিণী শাখায় শাখায় ঘুম ভাঙায় বীরমুকুলের কপল চুমি শাখায় শাখায় ঘুম ভাঙায় বীরমুকুলের কপল চুমি রুমঝুম রোমঝুম কে রুমঝুম রোমঝুম কে রুমঝুম রোমঝুম কে
Wow. You add your own thing too. I've been listening to the Tagore Nozrul Giti because I sing Nozrul Giti myself. This is really a very interesting thing for any artist to create their own mark in anything, because there is established way of doing that, established way of singing it, especially Tagore. But you brought your own style to it. You added to it, so that was really nice.
I wanted this to be rock and roll because I was summoned by Shom Dash of Kolkata way back, Ershad, when there was not when Tagore things didn't start much with Tagore. Now Tagore has rock metal, all sorts of songs.
Because the copyright has been lifted, so.
Yeah. So when Shom called me, I was a little ill. I just finished a fever. And he said, this is what you have to do. You have to do this in a different tal. I said, Dada, see, I told him that since Tagore was very particular about his creation, he was very particular about every little detail of his song. So
I would like to add that probably Tagore was not that particular. What the artist or the other people after him made it that particular, to be honest. Because if you listen to Tagore singing his own song, he didn't have that, like how we sing it in a particular way. Normally people do it. Even he didn't do it that way.
Ershad, see, I know very little about him.
Yeah,
very little.
definitely. Even same here.
But the way I graph him, he's very particular about his things. The way he has done details. So I agree when people say he's particular, and the Shorolipis, his lifestyle.
That is definitely, yeah.
So I said, Dada, see, I will just do the original things. I did that, and Shomda put it in like the song is awesome. It came out like so good. 2 Tagore songs I sang for his album. It was a mix album of big artists from Kolkata. So they came out wonderfully, and I decided, shall I make it my way, my genre, or what should I do? Then I realized, Ershad, I should bring out the way I feel Tagore and Nozrul. I should do it the way I want to. I want my audience to know how I understand them. So that's what I did.
Your own interpretation of the songs. Yeah.
I found out Durbadalda. And Durbadalda is he does these things regularly. He's eaten Tagore and Nozrul and like hell. So he helped me with
that as well.
He helped me with the details of the songs, and that's what I wanted. And then we use minimal music. You must listen to this album, Ershad.
I will, yeah. I mean, as I was saying, the 2 hours is not enough for the kind of work you have done. Okay, we have come to the end of the show towards. I have just one last question. As you have said that last 20 years, you have illustrious career, the 7 albums, amazing music, which was testament that what we have listened now, we have watched ourselves. So it's a testament to what you have done. But even though you say that was just the preparation stage, and now you'll get into the proper creation or the proper career, as you would like to call it. So if I ask you, if you go back in the last 20 years, if you look back, I want to ask, it's not about regrets. I'm asking, is there any particular episode, events, if you look at it from this vantage point where you're now, do you think there's something that you'd like to do otherwise in a different way? Is there anything?
No, I am blessed with what happened to me, and I am blessed with what didn't happen to me. This is not my statement. This is my Khala statement, Firdausi Rahman. She told me just in one sentence, be grateful to God Almighty for everything that has happened to you and for everything that has not happened to you. See, I was blessed with my parents. I was blessed with my children. I was blessed with every little journey. Every day, every day I worked. It is a very hard-working life. 25, 30 years, you can mention. And every day, Ershad, I did something. Not to put it on Facebook every day, selfies and stuff, but every day is in the making of a person.
Being able to do something that you're passionate about, you love. They say that you end up not working a single day of your life because you are doing what you love to do.
And every human I met, every person, small, middle, young, old, everyone taught me things, and I learned from them all mistakes. I love the mistakes I made, although I hardly made mistakes. First elders and example makers, so I follow the path that they have chosen, right? So and one thing is I have patience, and I always think 10 times, 3 times, 4 times before I make a decision. So I never do a hasty job. And there were songs where I thought, every song actually, I think I should have done better, and I could have avoided this, or
yeah. But from an audience point of view or listener point of view, people who are watching now, probably they would disagree with you.
Actually, they have pampered me. They have given me space. I am not the best of the singers. I have my huge flaws. I know my flaws. My audience knows my flaws, but my audience have forgiven me, and I have been paved a way to go forward, unless they have allowed me to walk forward, because I have seen how not take down artists unless they have, allowed me space, given me unconditional love. I would not have, been able to.
But having said that, you definitely have to look at the uniqueness that you have. So, because there are a lot of amazing musicians all around the world, and especially in the North Indian classical genre, or even in Indian. This is the tradition that we follow. There are a lot of musicians even in India, in Bangladesh. But the thing is that if you have clones of that same thing, how many times would you listen to the clones? It's the same kind of voice, same kind of style and everything. Unless someone has something different to offer. Because the whole world and the universe has so many different things. And someone needs to bring out something different, which you have done. In a different way.
I want to bring in more new things. I want to evolve. I want to do things which I haven't done before. And this is why, I go up to little children who are like little children, meaning like young musicians, young composers. I go up to them and ask them, how did you do that? Can I please do? They think this is a celebrity coming, making fuss and all that. But
you're just a child inside learning.
Yeah. And I want to go and collab with them.
No, I think that's the spirit.
Yeah, and like, as I said, I work with people all over the world, and now it's an open world. And Jamel was a great experience.
Yeah.
Who I worked with in France, and I will be working with Mescal, who is also a band from France, and we want to do something on jazz folk, which
amazing.
which I don't know whether I
So
can.
but it's due to the COVID, probably things have been delayed a little bit, isn't it?
No, COVID, I think, is going to be a part of our life soon. Just we should, I don't know. Let's see how COVID turns out. I am appreciative
No,
of
I love the optimism, and people who are watching it, definitely hearing it
yeah.
from you, they'll get that inspiration. Yeah, like the show must go on.
Yeah, the show must go on. And there are a lot of learning things, a lot of retrospective time that I had during COVID. And this YouTube thing, I love doing this because I am putting all my stuffs in YouTube. I have lost the entire footage of Sopol Jara Kemon Tara. I am trying to find out small footages from Bangladesh television where I was reading the news. And all these little things that I've done, they look so scrappy and so like you laugh.
And they can tell that that's part of the career. The
Yeah,
whole thing. That's what made MEHREEN what she is now, or what she's
yeah,
doing.
and I would love people to see how I was before, how silly I was, and
No, come on. I think anyone who would deny that and compare that, okay, this is what she is like. Oh, she's like to be like. No, this is the journey. Everyone has to go through that journey. I mean, you can't avoid that.
Yeah.
If someone denies it, then they're denying themselves.
Yeah, and when I see my old self, I remember the dream I had, that little spark. I never wanted to, hang around with friend circle and things like that. I always wanted to dream on, think on, and drool on things that was not normal. I used to think about things which was always different, and well, I don't know, but I love watching my bag. I don't do that for long because
we have, by the way, Anushri Gupta from India. I don't know if you know her. She was on my show. She's a very good singer. She's in Bollywood. So Anushri, she's watching, and I can see that. Anushri, hi to you. So we have a lot of musicians. She's an amazing singer herself. And she has a voice, a very bold voice. Anushri Gupta, she has a very raspy, folky, and amazing song. She had done Bhramor Ko Yogiya, which we had played on YouTube. I mean, she's more like the way you are, in a sense that tries to bring her own style into it rather than following what others are doing. So yeah, I've just seen her, so I just had to mention that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much to you.
No, it's a great support. This is what I believe in, especially what you mentioned in COVID, that we should support each other. It has brought people together, this cohesion. It's very important that we should be doing. And in our music industry, in Bangladesh especially, is there anything that you feel like that you wished it otherwise, that if it was operating in a different way, it would have been better? Is there anything that you'd like to see some change
we are
into?
taken for granted, Ershad. Bangladeshi artists still have got lot of 99% room. We don't have a concrete organization that can back us up. We don't have anything called artist management. We don't have managers. We don't have proper, structured thing that can that safe keep an artist and just help them sing. For example, I have to do, like, for myself. I'm sure artists every show management and back management, everything that goes on. So
you're your own manager, you are the own PR person for the whole project and everything. It's hard. Well, I think the whole world has come into that, to be honest with you. The whole world. I mean, nowadays the artists, especially in the Western world, sorry, the line's breaking up, so we have a bit of a time lag. So in the Western world, the same artist is the producer, he's the mixing engineer, he's the mastering engineer, he's the songwriter, and he's the lyricist as well. I mean, this is how it's happening. And at the same time, he's the one who has to put things out on Instagram, YouTube, and even, anywhere. So this is really a hard thing nowadays.
I understand what you mean, but still there is something called artist management. Still there is something called.
Oh yeah, it's happening, especially in the pop world. Definitely there is.
So you just have to get that song out. You have to make a name, and then that person will find you, and he will bring you up to a level that you aspire.
It's still there, especially in the for the pop artist. Definitely, it's happening.
Yeah. So then they dream to go on MTV one day, and then they dream on signing for big companies and stuff like that. Even if that singer is a YouTube hit, there will be somebody to pull him up or pull her up. But here, we still have the artists you're talking about. We also have very talented young artist group in Bangladesh who only do their own thing and go up to YouTube and get millions of views. They're not bothered about who is managing them or who doing their PR for them. So we kind of a group who are solid and diehard musicians. I really follow them. I take my spirit from them. So yeah, there are, but still, structure. Like for myself, I cannot talk about finance, and that really bothers me. And I always feel pity on the person who's trying to contact me. Oh boy, from where will he give me money? So okay, fine.
Okay, I'll do it. That's really nice of you. But the thing is that, that's a whole different conversation in terms of that one. Because many people, they say, still the artists have this thing, my music is not about making money. It's a creation. It's a divine thing. But at the same time, musicians need to survive as well.
And pop, you're talking about pop. Pop is so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
You spend. And yeah.
I have to interrupt you at this point because I have a request from within our group of people in the production. Tarajola or Tarajola.
Oh, I love to sing
that was. I would like to play that song. We are running nearly half an hour over now, but I don't mind.
Your version, or you want to play Fuad Bhai's original from which we uploaded tonight?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know which one. I don't have that. Let's see which one we have, probably. But if it's not that one, the right one, we can always watch it for everyone who's watching tonight. MEHREEN Special. That's on YouTube. That's the channel. You have everything uploaded, right? So they can always go and watch the best version of it or the latest one.
My channel is MEHREEN Official.
MEHREEN Official.
Official.
Yeah, official. Okay, so let's watch. Let's see which version we have, and you can add to that if we were right or wrong. Fingers crossed.
জলা রাতের কোন জানাই নীল স্বপন হয়ে তুমি ছুঁয়ে তাকে চোখ আমার হারা তোর বলো কিভাবে কাটবে আমার আজ নিঝুম রাতে তুমি ছুঁয়ে তাকে চোখ আমার জানি না উদাস পাখি কেন দেখে যায় গহীন রাতের আধার জানি যে আমি ডাকি তোমার তুমি ছুঁয়ে তাকে চোখ আমার আকাশ জুড়ে দেখি যখন মেঘের ভেলা যায় এমন তখন তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার নির্ধারা এখন বলো কিভাবে কাটবে আমার আজি এমন কনে তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার জানি না উদাস পাখি কেন দেখে যায় গহীন রাতের আধারে জানি যে আমি ডাকি তোমায় তুমি ছিলে দাও দু চোখ আমার নীল ঢেউয়ের মতো দোলে মনে যখন কবিতা যায় এমন তখন তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার এই সুখের সময় বলো কিভাবে কাটবে আমার আর এই সুখের বেলায় তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার জানি না উদাস পাখি কেন দেখে গহীন রাতের আধারে জানি যে আমি ডাকি তোমায় তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার উদাস পাখি কেন দেখে গহীন রাতের আধারে জানি যে আমি ডাকি তোমায় তুমি ছুঁয়ে দাও দু চোখ আমার
Now you meet my
It's
band.
not the version. It's not the version, right? But
Yeah, it's a studio version. Now you get to meet my band as well.
okay.
I love
Definitely.
my
I mean,
band.
that's the thing. Because I was wondering, just imagine if we didn't have the COVID situation now, the whole band, you could have probably the whole band could have performed live, right? That was so amazing because you're at the space, you had that facility. Not everyone has, so it's amazing. We could have done it, but definitely, well, in harmony with Ershad will be there, so we'll definitely do it. We'll keep on doing it at some point. We'll make some plans, and there are a lot of other things I haven't covered. You have done a project of recitation of poetries. Then there are other things, but we are running out of time today. We are already overrun by half an hour. But I'm enjoying this conversation. But at the same time, it's very late in Bangladesh. I don't want to keep you up that late. So is there anything that you'd like to say to your audience? I mean, trying to encapsulate everything about your audience, the love and adoration that you had from them. At the same time, this hard time they're passing at the moment in their lives. So is there any positive message that you'd like to share with them?
Well, times are definitely bad, but well, we always have our small zone where God peeps in, and He gives the solace if you have the heart to receive it. So there you go. He always gives us trouble, as we know, and He always. What I mean is like. As we always learn that God Almighty gives us trouble only to check, and then He is the one who takes us out of the trouble. So, of course, this is a time of patience, and this is the time of solitude, or name anything, prayers, or looking...
Rediscovering yourself as well.
Yeah, and looking back at God Almighty, which... we might have forgotten, under the garb of our busy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if you look at it in a good way, then there you go. We are eating less, we are wearing less, we are thinking much less, we are spending less, we are in this minimalistic, we've come into the minimal...
That's a very good point.
Thing of our life, and we could never think of this before, that you could, the extravagant life that many of us was going through, and many could dream up to an extravagant life. So all have come to a level, all have come to a
It's a level playing field.
Yeah. So it is God's will. I think it's a peace initiative. I work for peace organization as well. I head Women Federation for World Peace. So I feel that it is God's way of trying to tell people that you should be at peace with yourself first, and then you can spread peace all around. So I think these days will pass. We will, of course, find our regular times very soon, but we should not forget the lessons we learned, the hardships, the sorrow, and the things can happen like that.
The new normal would be a different one, not the same one. We don't want to go back to what mistakes we have made, because we should learn from the mistakes.
Yeah, and the soul that God tried to bring into each of the human beings should be there. We should not lose our soul again, because soul was missing from this world, and I was feeling what is wrong. So may the wrongs be straight, and be straight.
Yeah.
And remain straight.
Lovely message. On that positive note, I think you have mentioned quite a lot of good things in terms of that. The soul was missing. Rediscovering ourselves and the relationships. That's what really make us what we are. This is the importance of relationships and people, the bonding that people have, which was kind of lost, even in the family dynamics and everywhere, even in relationships and everything. So it will come back hopefully, and we learn from that. And what we have learned during this crisis, I hope we'll work on that, try to keep that going. And this new normal would be a new beginning.
Yeah,
like you said, the next 20 years, or I hope the next 50 years or whatever that is ahead for your music career that you want to start, or you said that's the beginning. So I think it would be exactly like that. It's
you better do a good job, Ershad, so that
you will. You already have done it. You proved yourself. I mean, it's already done. So you just, I don't know, sky's the limit.
No.
So, MEHREEN, I would like to thank you for being with us tonight and for giving us the time. It's been a really big privilege moment, I would say, and people who've been watching, many people who are anticipating it with bated breath. Many days. I know, because when the promo was going, many people started sending me messages. Oh, really? She's coming? I said, yeah. Just wait for her.
I don't believe you, Ershad, now.
No, definitely. Same here. I mean, it's such a lovely conversation we had, and it felt as if we were just talking, sitting in a living room, just,
Yeah.
It's really that vibe.
May I please add that you are very special, because many people send me messages over Facebook that let's do a live, let's do another. But when you sent me the text, I wanted to do this show.
Oh my God!
Really, it was communication which just happened, and when I spoke to you, I figured out that I'm speaking to a musician who has done this, who has been there, who has put every minute of his life behind music and behind getting there. Because we're never born best, we have to make it better every day. And you have been in communication with big people of Bangladesh, and you have been behind big projects and big happenings. Even the thing belongs to AB, and you are the one who gave this to AB.
It's such a small world. When you told me, it was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So it's a pleasure talking to you. I was so looking forward to this, and I apologize for the delay.
Not at all. Did you have a good time, first of all, today?
I had a great time, Ershad, of course. And again, I must say, you are very patient. You are very respectful for others' adversities. You understood my mother's situation. I canceled you just a day before. And, I remember texting you at 4 a.m. In the morning that, Ershad, things are not going right in my house. You have to, and you understood. You didn't say one word. And the month of August is a very somber month for everyone in Bangladesh. And you understood the father of the nations. You also respected that that
I mean,
no
that's what makes us human, isn't it? This patience and the respect and love for
you're
other human being and the understanding. That's what makes us human. If we lose that, then what's left?
you're
I look at it this way.
you're amazing. That's what I want to say. You are a true
Oh,
musician. You respect music. You have friends all over the world. You're sitting there, you're just doing things so big. And then again, you're so humble, so
it's
generous,
very
so
sweet and kind of you. Thank
respectful
you.
to people like, small artists like me.
Oh, no, no. What are you talking about? Amazing. I mean, I know that we'll be talking more. We have to learn. I have to learn a lot of things as well. And it will be an ongoing process for all of us until we die and the last day of our
Yeah,
lives.
absolutely. Just pray for
So,
each other that, we can
definitely.
do it till the end.
And we'll be in
Yeah.
touch. And definitely, we'll
Inshallah.
probably have shows with the whole band. And amazing. Thank you. I can only thank you. That's what I can do sitting in London and you're there keeping up till this time of the night, almost nearly 2 o'clock. So have a good night, good day ahead
You too.
tomorrow. And
You,
yeah, thank
you
you.
too. Thank you so much. And through you to all your listeners and viewers. Mwah.
Thank you.
And Joydeep, thank you for putting up with us for so long. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, so on that note, we'd like to finish tonight's show. And we had MEHREEN with us tonight, and such an amazing artist, such an amazing human being, as you can tell. So I can promise that next week we'll have someone special again, another guest, and you'd like to see on In Harmony with Ershad, and we'll be sharing those moments with them. And, with that positive note, what MEHREEN had shared with us at the same time, look at the brighter side of things, show must go on, and we have to keep going. And whatever the losses we had experienced, whatever the lessons we have learned, we have to keep going. We'll have to bring those changes in our life, what we have learned from this last couple of months. So the changes that we have made, hopefully, for the positive things to happen in our lives. So on the positive note, I'd like to finish tonight's show In Harmony with Ershad on Air Television Network. So I'll be coming again next Saturday at 6 o'clock. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of the night, rest of the evening, and keep well, stay safe. And from this side of things, I'll be signing off tonight. Thank you.